What's up, YouTube? It's me, Handy Danny. I know it's been a long time since I made a video, but I'm gonna show you guys the fundamentals on how to put a door up. If you've broken a door, you need a new door, you just want a new door, here's what you gotta do. So I got my frames already up, already installed, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line this hinge up to make sure that it's gonna work and I got the right door swinging the right way. Okay, so I see it is gonna work. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hinge here, and I have a pre-drill. It's got like an 1/8 of an inch bit. It's a metal bit, but you can use a wood bit, metal bit, whatever. To make sure that you don't split the wood. Right in the center. I'm just pre-drilling my holes. At times, they actually give you doors with pre-drills already in them. I've actually seen some on this job, but these they didn't. So it's not a big deal. Just kind of pre-drill it out. And you know, that way you don't split your wood. So okay, so now I got everything pre-drilled. The next step I'm gonna do is have a hardware pack. I got 2 types of screws. I got my little metal screws for the frame, and then I have a longer screw for the door. So I suggest you use a knife. You know, your teeth are like jewels, not tools. And I'm using a number 3 tip. Of course, Milwaukee's the best. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to take my hinge. I'm trying to figure out what I've done with it. And here it is. So I'm gonna take my hinge. I'll put my hinge on here, and as you see, the hinge is going on backwards. Okay. You can see the little lettering right here, PBB, whatever type of hinge I'm using here, and it's going to sit like that. So it's actually going to go upside down, which is okay. And when you put these screws in here, you don't want to over tighten them, because you might need to take this hinge out for some reason. And if you over tighten them, sometimes they lock. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of a cut right here on this screw. If you can see that there, that's going to lock that screw into that frame, which will really not be taken out. So you don't want to get yourself into that situation. Just a little snug. When you got all your screws in there, it becomes pretty tight, and everything works out pretty well. So I'm gonna put this hinge on the same way. This one right here has 4 hinges. Some doors have 3 hinges. The less that I've seen is 4 hinges, 3 hinges. So just kind of know what you have to do. And in a future video, maybe one day, I'll show you how to actually cut that hinge. You just have to use a rotary tool to cut that hinge. You can buy a Milwaukee, a Ryobi hinge guide to know how to cut your hinges. If you need one, you know. Alright, we got one more to install. And I'm just trying to rush for the sake of the video, trying not to make sure the video is too long. Okay, then you guys can watch me struggle with this door. You can use regular shims, you can use wood shims, you can take a piece of cardboard as a shim, whatever, to get your door in this properly. But I have the answer to, the true answer to how to get this door in here. Important, make sure all your hinges are closed before you get started, if some hinges are inside here and you go ahead and lock this hinge in and you screw it in, you're not going to be able to get this out. So don't make that mistake. I've learned from experience that it's not good. So I got my screws here. All you really need to do is throw one screw, and one screw is going to get it to where you can throw the rest of the screws, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to try to position my door the best I can to line up with the hinge the best I can and try to get the door straight, okay, which is right there. So I need to now get the door up in the air and hold it myself to where I can throw the screw. So I have these things right here called air shims. You can get them from Home Depot or check a link below. I may kind of link them where you can get them. All the tools that I'm using be linked below. I suggest Amazon. That's the best if you're going to order something offline. But pretty fast if you have Amazon Prime, which most people do. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get my shim underneath there. I'll line this back up, check my hinges, make sure they're all in. And this door is fairly light, which is very helpful to kind of maneuver in it. So now I'm just gonna pump up my shim here. Got about 3 pumps over there. About 3 pumps over there. I kind of count my pumps to make sure that I'm kind of congruent through and through. Sometimes your front needs to be a little higher than your back maybe. Now remember, we pre-drilled our holes here. I'm able to not only not split the wood, but I'm able to turn that screw by hand. Get it in there. And as you can see, my hinge is not really sitting flush in the hole. There's a few ways to correct that, and I'm gonna show you how. Maybe I get both scenarios here, but one way to correct it is it's lined up, but when I throw the screw, see, I impact it a little bit more to get the hinge to sit down in there. It's one little trick. So see how I pushed it in there and the screw's a little loose now? Because the hinge is now sitting flush. Okay, that's one little trick. Let me show you another trick here in a moment. And don't be afraid. You see how I split the wood right there? Because my hole really wasn't lined up, and I threw the screw anyway. Versus, don't be afraid to go back and pre-drill the hole properly to avoid splitting that wood. So as you can see, this one right here, now you can see my door's kind of leaning this way. So my shim has actually kicked all the way out. So I just need to get my shim underneath there, and I need to get my shim back in position. These little air shims, they're good, but it's not 100%. You want to make the job real easy. Sometimes you got to work with them. But let me show you another little trick of how. Then what I go ahead and do sometimes is I go ahead and get a screw going all of them. That way I can really release my shims. And you can see this right here. I need to make it a small adjustment. Let a little bit of air out. Take that shim all the way out. And this one right here is going to be my difficult hinge. So looks like I might get to show you how to get that hinge lined up. So I'm just going to throw a screw kind of halfway to kind of get it in there, okay? The other way to do it is, which I don't have with me, is a rubber mallet. You take a rubber mallet and you just kind of put your screw in there halfway, and you kind of hit that, and it's going to seat in there the way you want it to, and then you're able to throw your screw behind it. Doesn't have my mallet with me. Thought I did. So I'm going to use the original trick that I showed you of how to impact it, and this screw right here, when I impact the others, it should loosen up, and you'll see it loosen up. See how it's starting to loosen up a little bit now that I'm throwing these other ones? See, now it's loose. If you can see that, I'll tighten it back down now, and everything's good, okay? Now these screws you can throw very heavy into the door because you can see you can take these out. They have no locking mechanism on them to, you know, lock in there and hard to get out. So these right here, once again, just nice and snug. See that? Watch this. If you're impacting, that's all the impact you need. If you're like I'm doing with these screws, it's a little bit too much for those. And you can actually strip them. You can actually damage your tip, which you don't want to do. So I'm always throwing stuff all over the place. Can't never find anything. So be better than me, okay? Don't do what I do. But we pretty much got it licked. That's pretty much it. You seen how fast I did this? The video's about, you know, I don't know, 10 minutes long, and 5 minutes is me monkeying around with the screws and looking for stuff. But, you know, be better than me and have all your stuff prepared. Have yourself a nice little table, you know, and take your time, you know what I'm saying? And do it right. All right, so I got those popped in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test. And you always have to say, Mom, get out my room, and slam the door. But as you can see, it didn't really work out that well. But my frame now needs to be bumped right here. You can see my doors hitting my frame. And in another tutorial, what I will do is I'll make a tutorial for you guys to where I'm showing you how to move this frame to get the door to fit, okay? That's all that needs to be done is I just need to move the frame. I don't want to push too much right now because I already have glass in here, and you can see they only have one side in, and it's tacked up just kind of temporarily right now. So I don't really want to fight with this door too much. And if I have my mallet, I can kind of probably hit that right there just a little bit, just to kind of slide this frame over. But there's a proper way to do it as far as actually moving this frame over just a little bit to get my door to sit in here nice and good, nice and tight. So that's it pretty much. You know, if you're replacing the door, typically you're getting the same door that you're putting up, you're taking down, so everything should fit and you shouldn't have to bump your frame. But here's how you know for sure on every door. So after this video, I want you to go walk around your house and I want you to check every door. If you take a door and you set it like this, it should stay right there. If that door starts swinging either way, which is called ghosting, the door is not set properly. And if you took a level and you put it on the door here and you're able to put it on the top, you'll see that your door is not level, or even your frame could not be level. And there's a way to adjust your doors and adjust your frame, either one, to make it level and make it stop ghosting. If you ever need any help, and if you're here in the valley over in Phoenix, Arizona, or if you're a big contractor watching this video and you're just wondering why your door guys can't get the doors in and you need some help, you know, my information will be below. Give me a call. And the next video, I'm going to show you how to put the handle on a door that's actually working. All right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.